Meet the Alfa Romeo Tonale, a stylish small SUV that is the brand's first ever hybrid and its first all-new vehicle in 6 years. So its success or failure in a segment littered with very successful competitors could well decide the fate of the storied Italian brand. So no pressure then. Let's hope it's good for Alfa's sake. Two model grades will be offered in Australia, both hybrid, opening with the sub $50,000 Ti, above which is the top spec for Luggage, adding a $6,500 price premium, but adding things like bigger wheels, a sportier body kit, adaptive dampers, premium seats, and more tech. Rivals for the Tonale include the BMW X1 and X2, Audi Q2 and Q3, and Mercedes-Benz GLA. But it's likely to be cross-shopped against the Lexus UX, Volkswagen T-Roc and Volvo XC40 as well. Alfa Romeo now offers a 5-year warranty, in line with most competitor brands. Like its bigger brother, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, the Tonale is named after a mountain pass in northern Italy because, well, it's designed to communicate its sporty personality. There are a bunch of different engines available globally for the Tonale, including a turbo diesel and a potent 2-litre turbo petrol engine with 190 kilowatts and all-wheel drive. Sounds like fun. Sadly, neither of those are going to be available in Australia. Instead, there's only one powertrain choice, this 1.5-litre turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine, and it's built for efficiency, not pace. It's also got a hybrid module built in, including a little electric motor that allows this car to potter around at low speeds in pure EV mode. Power is transmitted to the front wheels via 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. The exterior design is appreciably different to pretty much every other small SUV out there, and that's a good thing. I really like that curved bonnet and the sleek LED headlights flanking that V-shaped iconic Scudetto grille. There is no mistaking that this is an Italian vehicle. And let's not forget, these are adaptive matrix LED headlights, and they even come with animated indicators. Pretty cool. From the side, the 19-inch alloy wheels, red Brembo brake calipers, and a sporty silhouette blend together nicely. The rear end gets a distinctive LED taillight signature, and small touches like the Italian flag on the wing mirrors will please the Alfisti. That Italian style is even more prevalent in the interior, and I absolutely love it. The way everything's sort of curving towards you, all the important bits, the steering wheel, the gear shifter, the screens, it's really sporty. But it's not just the way it looks, it's the way it feels. These leather seats are really nice. You've got Alfa Romeo logos embossed here. The dashboard design too, the air vents and little things like the starter button on the steering wheel, it all adds to the flair of the interior. There's a genuine sense of luxuriousness here as well, something that hasn't always been front and center in other Alfa Romeos of late. The improved cabin quality should elevate this vehicle to be more competitive with German small SUVs, thanks to better material quality overall and very few cheap plastics. Everything feels pretty lush. The climate controls have a suitably modern look and thankfully are hardwired into the dashboard. And the steering wheel and all the little trimmings are nicely finished and rather fashionable. The form-fitting leather seats are absolutely delightful and really comfortable. But if you want power adjustment, you have to pay $4,500 for the Lusso pack for that privilege. Sure, that pack adds things like a 14-speaker Harman Kardon stereo and heated and cooled seats, but I kind of think in a luxury car, you should be getting power-operated seats as standard. So unfortunately, if you do not order that Lusso pack, you get manually operated seats. Alfa Romeo has upped its technology game with this rather tasty high-res 10-inch central touchscreen that features sat-nav, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wired and wireless. This 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster has equally sharp graphics and reasonable customizability with different visual modes and lots of trip computer options, including hybrid readouts. Connectivity options go beyond Bluetooth and wireless phone mirroring with a new app that allows owners to operate a whole bunch of different car features remotely, and there's a vehicle finder tool that allows you to basically find the car if you lose it in the car park, for instance, which is pretty handy. Steering wheel controls are substantial but easy to decipher, including audio and adaptive cruise controls and auto steering functions. All right, backseat room is actually not too bad. This is a small SUV and it's roughly the same size as a BMW X1, so it's about 4.5 meters long. And for a roughly 6-foot bloke with extra long legs, this is not too bad back here. I've got a little bit of leg room. Headroom is not too bad either, and comfort levels are reasonable. I actually wouldn't mind spending a bit of time back here. Plus you've got USB A and C ports, you've got air vents, no Jesus handles, but otherwise amenities pretty good. Here we go, a couple of cup holders too. Bob's your uncle. All right, let's have a sticky beak in the rump of this gorgeous Montreal green Tonale, and it's surprisingly spacious. I've got my backpack there and I could still throw a large suitcase in, some shopping. There's also quite a bit of flexibility. You can fold down those 2 rear seats, plus you've got a 12-volt socket, 2 bag hooks, 2 lights, and there's even a space saver spare under there as well. All right, enough chit chat. Let's see how she drives. Cue the music. First impressions, well, it's relatively quiet. There's a little bit of tyre noise, but the engine's fairly quiet. Yeah, refinement levels are pretty good. It's comfortable, and there's a real sense of luxuriousness about it. It doesn't feel just like a cobbled together Asian car. It's nice. The steering is finger light and ultra direct in normal and eco modes, which makes navigating the urban jungle effortless. Ride comfort, even on these 19-inch alloy wheels, is also pretty good around town and surprisingly compliant on country roads too. Flip it to sports mode or dynamic in Alfa speak and the steering firms up a little bit. I can see that the adaptive dampers have gone to sports mode, and yeah, definitely feels a lot sportier. Despite an aging platform architecture it shares with the unloved Jeep Compass and the fact it's a front-wheel drive vehicle, Alfa Romeo's engineers have put plenty of spring in its step. It's a lot of fun to drive and tracks through corners with plenty of confidence and good body control. For a small SUV, it's got quite a lot of tenacity. It tips into corners quite well, it pumps through them, it's quite engaging to drive, and it's got character. But one area where it's let down is that engine. It just doesn't have enough power. I feel like this chassis could definitely do with a bit more muscle. The engine feels reasonably zippy at higher revs, but the electric motor does little to cover up the lack of low-end thrust, and the 7-speed auto can only do so much, making the car feel lethargic at times. Its chunky 1.5-ton weight doesn't help either. That lack of initial punch when you nail the throttle is really quite obvious when you're trying to do things like overtaking on the freeway, and it kind of saps your confidence a little bit. But the good news is the mild hybrid engine is very, very efficient. On the freeway and around town, where it'll be driven most, the Tonale does fairly well, and we saw figures as low as 4.2 litres per 100 Ks in urban areas, which is very impressive. However, that figure rose to 8.9 litres per 100 kilometres with harder, faster driving, which, when you think about it, isn't too bad. So the electric motor in this car has not much power, 15 kilowatts, but it has 135 Newton meters of torque, which is pretty reasonable, and that allows it to accelerate from standstill in pure electric mode. All right, we're still in pure electric mode, 11 Ks, 12 Ks. We're going up a hill too, so it's not too bad. All right, we got to 17 kilometers an hour in pure electric mode, and I know that doesn't sound like much, but in stop-start traffic and other situations, that ability to slowly drive away without using fuel will save you a bit of cash at the pump. It's a pleasant, easy-going cruiser. The autonomous driving assistants work as expected, making long-distance driving a relaxed affair. Overall, I really liked what the Tonale brings to the table, and there's no significant flaws here. It's a well-equipped, stylish, safe, small SUV with a tempting blend of sportiness and luxury. It's hard to believe this is only Alfa Romeo's second ever SUV. BMW has almost a dozen of them. And for the most part, the Tonale is a soundly executed, smartly priced compact luxury SUV with generous equipment levels and a solid 5-year warranty to add extra peace of mind. While it's not perfect, the Tonale's charming blend of style, luxury and technology make it very likeable. Whether or not it's a showroom success remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure, this has a lot more mainstream appeal than almost any Alfa Romeo before it, and that bodes well for the brand's future. Stay tuned for a more detailed review soon.